This isn't exactly a video I think I would ever have to make, but it's been a pretty crazy weekend, and here we are. I'm going to start this off from the very beginning. I am willing to bet that a reasonable amount of you have seen this video on either TikTok or Twitter.
What's my most traumatic experience? I don't know, but I know what yours is.
So as you can see, the main subject of this video is obviously me. My name is Ben. I go by the alias Goop Videos on YouTube. So let me add a little bit of context to this situation, because I was not even aware that this video went viral. I was actually at a mall and a Hot Topic employee was like, "Yo, I saw you on TikTok," and I'm like, "What?" Yeah, I don't even use TikTok, so I wouldn't have known. Anyway, I want to talk about what happened that day, what transpired, and what led up to those events. So let's start back on the actual day that it happened. It happened on Sunday, June 30th, 2024. This was 2 weeks ago at the time that I'm recording this. So while I was on my way to Men's Warehouse, I dropped my partner off at the mall so they can go shopping and, look around. And while I'm getting fitted, my partner calls me and is like, "Hey, these kids or these guys or whatever were like filming me with a phone and were asking me about like what was my most traumatic experience." And then they started making fun of me for it. Before I go any further, here's the clip of what my partner was referring to.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question for an interview?
Sure, what's up?
All right, right?
Crystal.
Crystal,
Crystal, what's the most traumatic event that you went through in your life?
That's a hard one. I've been through a lot. I would say probably when my mom threw a lot of shit around in the apartment and just broke a lot of stuff.
Womp womp.
Also, you gotta love the fact that the caption headline said, like, asking NPCs what their most traumatic experience was. Really good idea, not only you downplaying people's abuse, but you're also dehumanizing them. So, good job on that. There's so many things wrong with this video, I don't even know where to start. I didn't even see this video until yesterday, but my partner had told me everything about it. The short end is, you can see they asked my partner about a traumatizing experience that they had. My partner answered honestly, and then their response was womp womp, which I don't think it's a stretch to say that's in really poor taste, and also just like really downplaying somebody's abuse. And my partner has been through a lot of that. My partner went through about 20 years worth of physical, mental, and verbal abuse from multiple family members. So this is pretty bad. I didn't want to take this lightly. Like, my partner should not have to be afraid to go out in public, especially to like a public mall, and be afraid of people making fun of, or downplaying their abuse. After I was done, I was going through them all looking for Crystal, and I happened to run into these guys. I had never seen them before. I don't know any of their names, except for one, the frilly-haired dude that I talked to. He said his name was Christopher. I don't know if that's his real name. I don't care if that's his real name. But anyway, from the description that Crystal had given me over the phone, I was like, oh, that's got to be them. Then, of course, I approached them, and then the video that's been blowing up on Twitter, TikTok, and other platforms or whatever, this happened.
Can I know like the most? Oh, nice to meet you. My name is Christopher.
I'm not shaking your hand. What's my most traumatic experience? I don't know, but I know what yours is.
Suck my dick.
So a lot of people were confused as to why I did this, obviously. So now you know why, because they messed with my partner, downplayed their abuse, and I wasn't going to take that lightly. I would never take that lightly, especially for somebody that I love dearly and has been through like hell and back for most of their life. A lot of people were speculating that, after I dropped the camera out of his hand and I kicked this dude's ass or whatever. That's not what happened at all. I'm going on record now saying I am not hard in the slightest. I don't go out looking for fights. I don't really like to fight. I'm not really even good at fighting. I'm literally just an overweight white dude from Long Island suburbia. did not grow up hard. I didn't grow up in Queens or the Bronx or Brooklyn or anything like that. I don't know what it's like to be hard. Okay, I never really had to fight that much as a kid, but what I will say is I was bullied a lot as a kid, and eventually I got sick of it, and ever since then, if I know that, like, I'm being picked on or somebody that I love is being made fun of or picked on, I am not going to take that sitting down. So I went up to these guys, because from the description that Crystal had given me, it was like, well, are these guys teenagers? I don't know. When I got a closer look at Christopher, or whatever his name is, the frilly-haired dude, I noticed he had a tattoo on his arm, so I'm like, okay, he couldn't have been a kid. But they did have, like, a 5-year-old with them, which apparently is the dude's cousin. And I don't know why... That just really irks me. It's like, why are you out here, like, asking really personal questions and then making fun of people for their answers? And you have your 5-year-old cousin with you. Like, that's like corrupting a young mind. Like, that's just disgusting. So all that really happened in the video. I went up to the dude. I said, like, my cool 80s one-liner or whatever. And another thing about that, because a lot of people in the comments were like, that line goes so hard. It only goes as hard as it does because I had time to think about it. Like, I was literally planning it in my head. That's how little fighting experience I had. I was like, well, if I'm not going to fight these guys, I might as well make a meme. So that was really my intention, and I'm glad that it's paid off because 7 million people seem to love that line. I might actually print some t-shirts of that if anyone be interested, but I'll get to that later. So all I did was I knocked the camera out of the dude's hand and I threw it back at the frilly-haired dude. I didn't swing on these guys, I didn't punch them or anything. Also because, listen, I know I said I'm from Long Island, but I currently live in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut. And this is the only mall within a 20-mile radius. There's not a lot to do around here, and the last thing I want is to be on the security's bad side. Okay, so I didn't want to start a huge fight. But what I wasn't going to do was, you know, turn the other cheek. That this is something that is not okay, will never be okay to me. You made fun of my partner's abuse. If I'm not going to kick these guys' asses, I'm going to break their phone. There was also 5 of them. Like, it didn't seem like if I tried to start a fight, the odds would have been in my favor. I know this may sound like I'm really stretching, like, not to sound like a complete pussy, but this is the honest-to-God truth. Like, by the time I got up to him, I could tell Christopher or whatever probably wasn't a teenager because of his tattoo. I don't know how old the rest of the dudes were. He was saying the cameraman was 12, which was complete bullshit. That guy was twice my size. There was no way he was 12. The only obvious minor in that situation was the 5-year-old. After that, they were like, come on, come back, come fight us. And I wasn't fucking having it. So after they asked me to come back and fight them, I was like, no, screw you, and I mooned them. Like, I pulled my pants down and showed them my butt cheeks. And I'm gonna go on record saying that was not directed at the kid. I probably shouldn't have done that. Also, in hindsight, if I was unsure if they were teenagers, that probably also wasn't the best idea. I don't think anybody in that party was a teenager. I don't buy that the cameraman was 12 years old. You can't see the cameraman, but I can tell you that guy was twice my height. Like, I'm a short dude. And that was not a 12-year-old. Anyway, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have mooned them, but it is what I did, because it was basically my way of saying, like, no, I don't want to fight you, just get out of my face. The mooning was not directed towards the kid, it was directed towards frilly-haired guy, as I'll call him. Dude, I'm really sorry that your cousin had to see that, like, truthfully, but you were going around the mall harassing people, harassing my partner. The fact that you had a kid there is not my problem. He just got in the way of our argument. So then afterwards, I found my partner in GameStop, and this happened.
Did I grab my phone like that? Hold on. Yo, stay right there. Come on, come outside.
No, I'm done with you. Get out.
Come outside. Come outside, GameStop.
Done with your fake ass. Go get your little digital clicks and all your bullshit.
Don't touch
Go
me.
somewhere else.
Don't touch me. I'm gonna punch you in your face.
Out of me.
Come outside the store so I can punch you in your face.
Fuck you. How old are you?
Come outside.
How old are you?
Come outside then.
No, fuck you.
Come outside.
No, fuck you. I'm done.
I'm gonna punch you right in your fucking face.
Hey, man.
Come outside, pussy.
No, I'm done.
Yo, what if I just punch you?
What?
I should just punch you right now. You just pulled your ass out in front of a 5-year-old. You fucking pedo.
Dude, I ain't no pedo. I was pulling
Fuck
my
you talking about.
pants down at you, man.
You a fucking weirdo. Fuck you.
Dude,
Fucking
stop
bitch.
blowing their shit.
the fuck up, nigga. You a weirdo. You just pulled your ass out. You just pulled your ass out in front of a little kid. Shut the fuck up. And a 5-year-old, nigga, I should punch you in your shit, you bitch ass.
So as you can see, I really was adamant about really not trying to start any more fights here. Like, he was really adamant about, like, come out and fight me and all that. And I was just like, no, I am done with you. I was trying my best to keep my cool in that situation. And he kept throwing unpaid merchandise at the GameStop we were at. Like, stuff he didn't even pay for. Like, if he had broken any of that stuff, that he would have had to pay for that. And afterwards, the GameStop employees were actually like, thank you for calling him out on that. I don't understand what this guy's mentality is. First of all, trying to call me a pedo because, you know, he had his 5-year-old cousin with him. Meanwhile, all you're doing is hiding behind your 5-year-old cousin, trying to make me look like the bad guy. Meanwhile, you're going around making fun of people's abuse and teaching this kid that that's okay to do. And that's not okay. Who's really more in the wrong here? I think in a lot of sense, if we were to compare the two, we're both in the wrong. I probably shouldn't have mooned him, especially if there was a kid around him. But again, it was not directed towards the kid. It was directed at you, dude. Furthermore, you went into GameStop trying to make yourself look like the better man, because I could tell he was trying to make me throw a punch at him. He was trying to make me look like the bad guy. Meanwhile, you were doing a pretty good job doing that on your own. You were throwing unpaid merchandise that you didn't even pay for at me. Not only that, security was called, and you guys left before security could even go. I stayed and talked to security and gave them my entire side of the story. I told them truthfully. I told them everything that I did, and I said, if you need me to leave, I will. And security was kind enough to say, no, you can stay. We're going to kick these guys out, which goes to show that these guys probably already didn't have a good relationship with security at this mall to begin with. So, you know, they probably knew that they were in hot water. Like, they just wanted to take any opportunity to make me look like the bad guy before they left with their tails between their legs, you know, and security just gave them the boot. All right, so that's basically all that happened that day on June 30th. Now let's fast forward to yesterday. So I'm at a mall, a different mall this time, and a Hot Topic employee goes, yo, I've seen you on TikTok. And I'm like, what? So I had no idea about this. I don't use TikTok, so there's no way I would have known. So they show me the video. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that fight I got into, you know, 2 weeks ago. So my initial reaction was, wow, it's got like 2 million views on TikTok. And then I found out that on Twitter, it was reposted by a guy named Fearbuck, and as of now, it almost has 8 million views. The caption was initially, bro pulled up out of nowhere and crashed onto the camera of man for no reason. So obviously this was not for no reason. Again, for the upteenth time, I did this because I was defending my partner. So I quickly gave context about the situation. I posted a comment saying, you know, what really happened. And then after that, I went on my own Twitter page, told my side of the story. I know that's what I'm doing now, but not long after I discovered like that this had blown up on TikTok, I was pretty much already on my way to a show. So I didn't have time to make this video today. That's why I am. But I figured that while I was driving that I put out like a short video explaining like what had happened while it was still fresh. But now I'm taking the opportunity to sit down and like thoroughly edit this together and put it on my YouTube. So yeah, that's basically how I found out. I just found out from a Hot Topic employee that I had blown up on TikTok and Twitter. Funny enough, I ended up telling my mom about it. And my dad, I didn't even have to tell my dad about it. He actually found out because his ex-girlfriend's son sent it to him through TikTok. And then when I was at the show yesterday, there were people who recognized me from the videos like, yo, I've seen you on TikTok. So I was honestly shocked how fast it had circulated. But I guess that's the world we live in now, and that's, you know, the internet for you. Now I want to talk about what I think of the video. Do I regret doing it? No. I don't regret doing it. I'm very proud of what I had done. Aside from the fact that they downplayed my partner's abuse, I am just sick and tired of these kinds of people. These dumb, trendy clout chasers that go around doing these dumb TikTok trends, harassing people in a public mall. Get a life and stop. Stop doing this. Furthermore, this situation especially pissed me off because now this guy was bringing his 5-year-old cousin around, and now he's being exposed to this brain rot, and he could easily turn into him. And that's fucking sad. That is really sad. So no, I don't regret any of it. I was defending my partner. You do not go up to my partner and ask them about their traumatic experiences and then make fun of it. I am never going to take that lightly. And this is a message to Christopher and the rest of his crew. You owe me and my partner an apology. I'm sorry that I made an impulsive decision to moon you specifically and that your cousin got in the middle of it. But you started it.